All right, we are back with our new stream. We apologize for any technical difficulties. Our stream crashed unexpectedly for a second. So, Vaughn are kind of back in this game. It's only an 8-point game now. Obviously, 4 buckets pretty big as Derek David with the immediate response. So
yeah, it's good to see Derek David getting his bucket there. It's a foul.
And one. Another immediate response from Vaughn. And now this game is starting to go back and forth just a little bit more than it was earlier. 24-16 now.
For Northside, what they're going to need to do is they need to get this quarter over with. Von Steuben has all of the momentum. That's immediately killed by halftime. So I'd say for Northside, just hanging on with this lead for this last minute of the game is going to be key for them. Especially with their starters out here against some of Vaughn's second unit. I mean, they made the changes that they kind of needed to make. And so now they're right back in this game. Now they're only down single digits by 7 points here. Again, like I was saying, we had some technical difficulties on the YouTube side. We're not really sure when the stream crashed, so we're very sorry for that. Hopefully
I'm surprised there was no foul there as Arjumon hits the 3. Von Steuben are going to be frustrated if that was a no call, but a big 3 to give Northside a 10-point lead once again. That's what they needed. They got to go back and forth here and finish strong.
All I'm going to say is John Brody, a la Michael Jordan, with a little bit of a push off there and makes the 3. That's what you like to see there. And that's the thing, you see a lot of players kind of do that. They break their ankles, they get someone off of them, and then they don't make the shot. And that's right to Onamir Arjumon on the bench.
And we like to see that the defensive intensity is staying high for Northside, because when you're giving up some points, it's easy to just kind of fall into some mental lapses, maybe just stop focusing on the game for a second. But Northside are not doing that here. They're staying focused and playing good defense, as the layup is good. There's not a whole lot you can do about that, as that was Adder again. Mullins, oh!
And Vaughn is completely getting embarrassed here. Just very bad defensive play those last 2 series.
At the buzzer, not quite. I mean, Wade Anthony David, number 3 on Von Steuben, just went flying off the court because Jack Mullins with a really nice sidestep and finishes on the 3. Just fantastic.
He got back. Just John Brody and Jack Mullins leaving off this quarter with a bang. And we're sorry if you missed some of the content here, but we're glad that we got that on camera for you. And we're just checking. We just like to say we have a huge team here today. I mean, obviously this is kind of basically the conference championship, so we'd like to shout everyone out. Obviously, I'm Pearson Stranquist here with Alex Cotter. We're on the mic as usual, and Alex Korn's on the producing as usual. But we have a lot of faces that you may or may not have heard of. On the scoreboard, we have Alash Chaudhry. We have also on text Zubair Ahmed. We have on stage Jonah Halloran, Justin Goldberg, Patrick Moran. On camera, we have Ryan Feeney. We also have Jacob Del Rosario and Amin Koya Oyefua. So we have a huge team here. We're doing a lot. And we hope that you can tell that the quality of the broadcast, maybe a little more stats, a few more tidbits that are coming here and there. As we welcome the NCP Palms team. For those of you who haven't joined the broadcast here, they've run 4 straight championships here for their Palms. So take this camera. We're going to move from that.
Thanks.
Features are more fun.
Yeah. I don't know if this is audio right now. So if we're saying
Harrison. Patrick. Is this camera hooked up to the audio?
I'm thinking. I joined this club like a week ago.
Is this going on the broadcast? Right now? They're gonna give us a thumbs up and then we're good.
Alright.
Is this going on the broadcast? Yeah.
Yeah,
Live.
it's live.
We're live on YouTube. We're good. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Luca Candelaria. I'm your sideline reporter for today's game versus Von Steuben. Here I'm with
Sona Abdi.
and
Krubel Gabayo.
I'm gonna just ask you a few questions about the game so far. You know, it's been a momentum battle. There's a lot of Von Steuben students in the crowd today. Do you think we have an upper hand or it's mostly equal?
I know we're at the home court, being home was always you have the advantage, you know the rims, you know the courts, you know the people. It's always an advantage when you're at home.
Yeah, I feel like, especially since, we know all the players personally on our team. And, since we're at home court, we have the advantage over Von Steuben.
You know, so far this season, there's been a lot of triumphs and a lot of less than that. You know, tough loss to St. Patrick's earlier in the season. Tough loss to St. Patrick's earlier in the season. So how do you see the season ending for Northside?
I think, we're gonna win this, we're gonna win conference, and we're gonna move up to the red, baby. Come on, let's go.
What you think?
Yeah, I feel like if they continue to play, this type of defense and this level of pace, they can definitely go far this season.
I like that. Yeah, go Northside. Let's thank you guys. Fellas, you ready for an interview? Hi, so I'm here with two other students, both sophomores. What's your name?
Henry.
What's your name?
Max.
All right, so now you're students at the school. You know a lot of these players personally. Do you think knowing them impacts the student section and the cheer of the game?
Yeah, totally.
What about you?
I definitely think it does, 100%.
You know, what do you think of Northside as a community, especially revolved around
When it
sports?
comes to sports, it's not very good, but we get hyped sometimes.
All right, yep.
The fan base doesn't really show up much, but we play our best every game.
All right, that's great to hear. You know, this broadcast is sponsored by Way Back In. Recovery is possible if you're a gambling addict.
What?
All right, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Thank you, Luca. Good job.
Let's get one more. One more. Hey, can we interview? Yeah. Actually, no, not you.
Jack,
Let's hear both of you. Both
Yeah.
of you guys.
What's happening?
During practice.
Definitely Derek David. Passes the ball, great teammate.
All right, what do you think?
I got Matty Kalk, always pushing you to do better.
Yeah, I like that. There's a lot of great players on this team. Great players. How do you see this season ending for Northside College Prep varsity basketball?
Great season. The senior night's going to be very fun, blowout win.
Yeah. Conference champs. We're putting 2024 up on that banner.
I like that. Go Northside. Yup. Follow me on IG, Luca.Candelaria.
My glasses have not been sitting on my face right.
Yeah? I gotta get new glasses. I just got these glasses like a month or two ago. They're so heavy, they dig into my lower back. It's bad.
They're like, nah.
Compared to my old ones, these frames are just super thick. Otherwise, it was just like a flat, lightweight metal. So it's really
Yeah, this is like plastic and it's digging in behind me. I don't know. I think I'm just noticing it though.
That could be one.
I mean, I guess. If you want to turn the camera on, you can. All right, so we are back. I'm Pearson Strandquist again, here with Ellis Corder. This is a good game so far. It's good to see the NCP Comms team here, 4-time city championships in a row, performing at halftime. We hope you enjoyed that as we're back here 30-19 in the third quarter. Northside's leading.
So Northside obviously wants to come out of the half strong here because they have an 11-point lead, but third quarter has been challenging for them, so they want to protect that lead. Stephen Tran, deep three, rattles in and out. And great offensive rebound by Brody, rebounded by Tran. Great all-around team play right there. Wow.
And that's what you like to see. Stephen Tran finally getting back into that rhythm that he needed. I don't know what Coach Rollins said to him at halftime. I know that Coach Brody was kind of talking to them a little bit as each of them were coming into the games. Obviously, Coach Brody did have to ref a game a couple weeks ago, but now he's back at the scorers table. And
Jaden Cardona, that's the first time we've seen him in this game. And
Jaden Cardona is usually their sixth man, but obviously with one of their key players, I think that was Keith Davis, get injured this game. Oludeye Oyelewe got a lot more play time than Cardona, but Cardona's now finally back in this game. And so that was a foul on number 21 for Northside, that's Matthew Sterniak, and that's another foul for number 21, Matthew Sterniak. Matthew has 3 fouls right now. That's the second team foul this quarter. Again, as always, 5 fouls is the bonus so far. They're not there yet. So as long as they, and almost lost that there. That's for Von Steuben. That's number 3, Wade Anthony David. But yeah, we're sorry again for those tech issues. Luckily, watched it back, and it only cut off about 2 minutes there in that game, which honestly was the part that Von Steuben was kind of coming back. So maybe we're not missing as much. We really appreciate everyone who's listening, and obviously this is open and available for everyone to watch back. You can connect with us on our social medias. All of them are at NCP_TV. That's on Instagram. And the NCP TV, obviously on YouTube and Twitch.
Tran for a contested 3, not quite.
And if you have any business inquiries or inquiries at all, you can email us at thencptv@gmail.com, all lowercase. And that's a foul on Stephen Tran. That was a good foul, honestly. Just don't let them get in that rhythm. They have not been good for free throw stripes. So unless Von Steuben can prove that they can consistently hit these free throws, honestly, those shooting fouls are smart plays, especially on a fast break.
And you don't really want Tran to pick up his second foul, but if you can force him to the line and make him shoot free throws, that might be worth it. So as the first free throw is good, that was Axel Rivera. We've seen him come back for the first time in a few minutes. He didn't really play most of the second quarter, but Rivera couldn't quite get his second free throw and his rebound. A good rebound there. But one thing that was interesting that I just heard Coach Brody from the scorer's table yell was make them shoot. And I think that's something that Northside are going to try to do. They don't want to give these fouls. They don't have to foul. Instead, they can force those shots. And good play there. Trying to get rid of it, and they finally do. But Cardona there got rid of it.
Good defense here for Onamir Arjumon, and Brody's there to recover.
The 3, that might be the highest arc on a 3 I have seen this entire season. I mean, Matthew Martinez for Von Steuben he just shoots it like 25 feet into the air, if I had to guess.
And he just called a foul on Onamir Arjumon. That was pretty clearly a flop. I mean, we're not here to judge the refs. But I guess you can say there were a couple maybe no calls earlier that went Northside's way, so you can kind of accept those kinds of ticky-tacky fouls. And good pass by Stephen Tran. Amir Arjumon, that's good.
Good play there by Amir Arjumon. Amir Arjumon has definitely been Northside's player of the game so far, you got to say. I mean, they've had a really balanced attack, but Arjumon also has 2 steals, an assist, only 1 turnover, and now 8 points. So he leads the team. Just really great play.
And yeah, I mean, I think now Von Steuben is in the bonus, but there's a lot of fouls being called against Northside. And you got to think that some of the home fans are kind of getting a little bit frustrated. And honestly, the players too. I mean, when you see, especially at a home game, when you see a lot of fouls going against the home team and not one called against the away team, that kind of tells you that there might be some stuff going on. I'm not saying against the refs, but more so just you want to see a more evenly called fouls. Not necessarily that the fouls that they're calling are bad, because I do think that these were fouls. More so you just want to see the refs kind of calling some things on the other side to even it out.
Here's Steven Tran now. Tran gives it to Arjumon. Little floater in the paint. Couldn't get the roll. Rebounded there. That was Adder. Oh, it's going to be a takeaway. They're going to say it's still Von Steuben's ball. So it's still a 12-point game. But you got to say, a lot of these breaks are going Von Steuben's way. They just haven't quite been able to convert in the offensive end. And that's been their whole issue this whole night is just that finishing, especially in the paint. And they just haven't had good shots.
And I will tell you, the start of the third and fourth quarter has been Northside's weaknesses. They usually are able to come back once they kind of get settled after halftime. But I'd say it's key for them not to let that get to their heads. And he tried to do something special there, Matthew Martinez.
And that was almost special, too. I mean, it was pretty close.
Yeah, but I guess we could concede that he does not have that bag as Derek David comes down the court.
Tran had to leap to get Derek David's pass. David fakes. Oh, nice pass inside there. Tran tried to find some room for David. Instead, the screen of Brody for three. Not quite.
Oh, good
Derek
rebound.
David, good rebound. Jumper. Couldn't get that one. And a rebound. So, Derek Adder now for Von Steuben has really started to kind of assert himself rebounding. He has 8 rebounds now, or 9 actually. And he's not rebounding the whole rest of the team. I mean, he's just been really good in the paint because they lacked basically a huge paint presence the entire night.
And I say, yeah, I mean, key for Derek Adder and Wade Anthony David. Again, we talked about how they had the connection with Kevin Adu, Steven Tran, and Derek David for Northside, but they're the only players really for Von Steuben who are having a decent game. I'd say Axel Rivera looks just as off as Steven Tran looked at the first quarter, but it's been the whole game for him.
And Derek Adder started the game 1 for 7 from the field, but since then 3 for 3. A little scramble for the ball here, and they're going to call a timeout. Northside had possession there and called a timeout. Great coaching there by Matt Rollins.
That's really smart there. I mean, you want to keep possession. I think the possession arrow would have gone to Von Steuben there if it would have been a jump ball call. So it's good to see good coaching there. Just keep that possession. I mean, honestly, with a 12-point lead, you do have some breathing room. Yes, it is very close to being single digits. Yes, it's still a very close and competitive game. But at the same time, keeping the lead is the main thing Northside has to do. I mean, I know that's such a simple thing to say, but I think as long as they can stop Von Steuben from making that away team run that we've seen a lot in Northside's home games this year, again, like we said earlier in the game, I'm not sure if this got cut off by the part of the broadcast that was bugging, but Northside is 6-2 at home. That is their best record in the conference at home, while Von Steuben's only 3-6 away. So there's some good chances. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny here. Obviously, you can't really see us on the screen, but you can see all of our heads here at the bottom of your screen. We have a huge team here today. Like we mentioned earlier, we'll give them a shout out at the end of the game. But I think, Ellis, the key here for Northside, at the start of the game, we talked about rebounding and defense. That is this team's identity. If they can keep winning boards, they haven't gotten offensive boards recently, so if they can get those, as well as just continue to play good defense, I think that will be key for them to keep this lead.
Here we go. Odemir Arjumon brings the ball up now for the Mustangs. Steven Tran for 3. A contested shot wouldn't go. Steven Tran now from three-pointer. Usually we're seeing almost all of his threes falling, but tonight from 3, he is 0 for 3. So not what he wants to see. And Derek David comes down with the rebound there. Got pushed just a little bit, but it hangs onto the ball.
And that's 0 for 4 actually for Steven Tran on threes there.
Not characteristic, just an uncharacteristic night. But here's what's big for Northside, and here's what says a lot of good things about their team. Even though Steven Tran, their best player, has not had a good game at all, I mean, he would admit that too. Kevin Adu drives in and gets the layup.
And that's his first points of the game there. Good to see there, Kevin Adu getting his first points off of injury.
Northside have had a very balanced attack. Northside have been able to have lots of scorers step up, and they've just been really good all around.
I mean, yeah, if you look at the scoring table, I mean, yes, Odemir Arjumon leads them with 8 points, but I mean, you have 5 from Steven Tran, 5 from John Brody, 5 from Derek David, 5 from Esteban Vargas, and 6 from Jack Mullins.
Oh, that was almost a fabulous pass. It's going to stay with Northside as Tran couldn't quite hang on to it, but Derek David really showing some of his court vision and stretching the floor.
Yeah, we saw, I think a couple of weeks ago, with the beautiful pass to John Brody. That was probably the play of that game. I think that was against Chicago Academy. So I'd say Northside again, like, as long as it's kind of like the togetherness stats. If they can get these assists, if they can play a cohesive defense, that'll be key for them, and that's always been key for them. So I think that's not too surprising to hear today.
Here's Derek David. Derek David kind of playing the point there for a little bit. Kevin Adu guarded closely. John Brody lost his footing for a second, but hangs on to possession. Now to Tran. Tran has been really guarded well by Axel Rivera as he gets another block. I mean, Axel Rivera's defense has probably been one of the best things about Vaughn today. He's just really stopped Stephen Tran from having any impact out there on the
and
court.
Rivera's kind of made up for his kind of offensive discrepancies here today with a good defensive presence. And what a play there. That's a great inbound pass right there. You love to see that from Northside, and that's a great play from John. Kind of has that shoot for that alley-oop.
Absolutely. Northside first didn't put it in paint, which is a little bit of a surprise given their offensive rebound prowess this game. But they do. That's Javon Vargas. I mean, that's actually a lot about their team. Their center, Kevin Adu, isn't there, but as Javon Vargas, the short guy on the board, is there for that offensive rebound, and that shows just how much grit he has in taking those offensive rebounds.
And yeah, for sure. And John Brody right there has got the end one. That's a beautiful all-around play to just inbound pass from Derek David right to Brody. And so good play.
Cardona, I think he had a chance to shoot there, barely got rid of it, and back to Adder. Here's Adder driving into the lane.
Player and nice layup. And you got to think Derek David didn't like that call there, but I mean, he did get a little bit of the arm, so that'll be a shooting foul against Derek David. Free throws for Derek Adder.
And Adder's had some good explosiveness. I think and he has a technical foul, but all that means that he's been, despite all of those negative stats, Adder's really carried this team to even be in this position to be somewhat competitive in the
For sure.
Break from Brody. Here's Esteban Vargas.
That was the type of change I'd have expected. Just stated before, they got a almost better offensive position defensive run support. That was killing them. So
Absolutely.
Great growth.
I mean, just shows the maturity this team has and their ability to grow. Here's Derek David, guarded by number 3.
And good recovery there from Vargas.
Derek driving, gives it back to Brody.
And there's no reason to rush here. I mean, you have a 15-point lead.
And we're going to see our first look at Will Moran here in just a second. It's his first time checking into the game.
Moran's in 4.
Looks like
I want to keep him as a key player for you. And you got to give some minutes to Will Moran. We talked about before, and so far almost all of our predictions have come true.
And he's largely been their sharpshooter this season. As I think there was a little bit of confusion there because Derek David was still walking back to the bench, and they threw it directly at him. So a little bit difficult for Northside players to work
if only
around
this
that.
was like hockey and you could have empty net with 6 players, but unfortunately that's not how this works. And that's a good steal right there from Esteban Vargas.
Once again, playing some big-time defense. Odomir Arjumand. So Will Moran here is guarded by Axel Rivera. Axel Rivera definitely Vaughn's best defender, so that might limit how much he can do offensively, but good pass. Wouldn't quite go.
He's unable to get that. And Northside retains possession there. I mean, so what do you I mean, still a minute left. What do you think Northside has to do to close out this quarter strong?
I mean, I think they just have to they've got to get a stop here, get a score here, and then probably get a stop in the defensive end just to finish strong. As Adu.
I'm surprised they didn't call a foul there, but still, great play there from Derek David. Kevin Adu as he stares down his friends from pretty much his top left, like we've mentioned, Derek Adder. And you'll see, that's the right thing from Adu.
Absolutely.
Just stare him down, no trash talk, doesn't get that T there, unlike Adder.
Just showing some maturity as a senior, as a leader of this team, just making the right decision there, and also adding to some of the competitive fire of this game.
Yeah, he still kind of gets the Taunton without doing anything in the eyes of the ref that's offensive.
Here's Moran, back to Onomir Arjumand.
Arjumand was open there, but You like to see him pass there. I mean, he's their key playmaker. And you heard Coach Brody at halftime talk. We talked to him a little bit. And he was saying how he told Onimir Arjaban his best time he plays is when he's relaxed. And so, obviously, his passes are key and his assists are key. And so, he just wants the entire team to calm down a little bit. And he had to shoot that there to get that buzzer. Almost got it fouled there, but that's okay. Northside's up 41-24 here. And CU has to feel good going into this fourth quarter, but we can't speak too soon considering their fourth quarter performance recently.
Yeah, I mean, this game, it should be out of reach by now, but we'll see what happens. Northside have got to finish strong. We're going to step away, take a 2-minute break. We'll be back at the other end of the timeout. And the three there. Good start to the quarter, 20-point lead. Immediate response, nope. Well off.
And, I mean, it was good to see the try there. But to no avail, here's Stephen Tran going down the court, as always.
Tran back to Brody. Derek Davis checking back into the game.
Yeah, I think that's probably either for Will Moran or maybe for a tired John Brody.
I think it's also possible he checks in for Esteban Vargas here, as they already have a point guard. Tran couldn't get that to fall. Another uncharacteristic miss by Tran, but he had the movement there. That's what's good. Yeah, Derek David is going to check into the game for Esteban Vargas.
Good call there, Alice.
So they go back to a little bit of a larger lineup, and John Brody will switch back to small forward. 44-24, 7 minutes left. And the jumper, no good. And they got tangled up there, but
good play from Odemir Arjaman not to get caught up in that. I mean, I know it's very, tempting to do, oh, and here's Derek Davis at three. Oh, almost rebounded. Oh, that was a good try there by for Kevin to do that. Oh,
the three. Rivera finds the net. First points of the quarter for the Von Steuben Panthers. And Axel Rivera, obviously he has a really big impact defensively, but
that's his first field goal, too.
Yeah. Just showing that he does have some offensive capabilities because he just hadn't shown anything so far. Derek David, another three. Not this time. Derek David's had a rough shooting night from three.
I feel like the entire team has. Usually their identity is kind of driven by making a lot of threes. But really, actually, the threes have been kind of led by the second unit. We saw Jack Mullins, Esteban Vargas with some threes. And so you'd like to see that.
Yeah, for sure. Mullins and Vargas have combined for 3 3-pointers. The rest of the team only 4 3-pointers. So the second unit providing a spark.
You'd like to see that there from Stephen Tran. Axel Rivera tried to get that steal there, and good rebound by John Brody. He tried to get that steal there and literally did not move the ball at all. That just shows the strength from Stephen Tran.
Right now out there on the court is all seniors. Coach Matt Rollins really, as Tran missed another layup, as Rollins is showing, which guys he trusts the most in the really big game. Just his seniors, his most experienced guys. And he's really sticking with them as we go down the stretch here.
Yeah, Esteban Vargas, also senior, he's gotten the most minutes off the bench here. Although it is good to see a good play there from John Brody.
They needed that. Nice little spark. John Brody, nice finish.
I mean, this is something you hear in every sport. Unless you hear the whistle, you keep going. And so good for John Brody there just to not get, and that's way off for Axel Rivera.
And almost a good offensive rebound, but Amir Arjamon got in the way.
That's a steal.
Cardonia couldn't quite finish the play off. As Matthew Stoney is going to come back into the game, and so will Jack Mullins. So Northside shifting a little bit from the starters, and as they try to kind of finish this game off here.
Yeah, this is the fourth quarter, 46-27. They have a sizable lead, so as long as they keep their composure, I think it's going to be very hard for Von Steuben to come back in this one.
Yeah, I would be pretty shocked if Von Steuben could muster up enough points that quickly.
Especially when you get so many offensive rebounds like the Mustangs been having.
For sure. I mean, they're eating clock right now. Brody, nice little jumper. That was a tough shot, and this lead is over 20 points for the first time this game.
And John Brody has 9 rebounds, 6 offensive, 4 defensive. I mean, it's not usual to see more offensive than defensive boards, but I mean, that's a great stat to see.
Are they doing a broadcast of this? See the dude in the corner with the camera?
Yeah, and I think we have a opposing broadcast here from Von Steuben. But thank you to our loyal listeners here on NCP TV.
We appreciate you sticking with Northside here.
And there's Derek Adder with the miss. Oh, he got the rebound. Yeah, they had double team there, so I'm surprised they couldn't get that rebound. That was kind of the first time where Von Steuben looked stronger on the glass.
Von Steuben now no longer with any pressure in the backcourt, as they're going to make another substitution, and that's going to be Joshua Luong, who's going to come into the game for the first time for Von Steuben. So they're kind of changing things up. I think that they might take out their starters soon because this game is all but over now with 3.5 minutes left.
And yeah, we'd like to shout out the physio here today, sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy. Yeah, we were told to say that, but even so, they were able to treat the power forward for Von Steuben, Keith Davis, who's now up on the bench. And so that's good to see there. Get his ankle a little bit wrapped up. You could see he was in a lot of pain, so we're always glad to have those physios there from IHSA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really can help players a lot. There's another 3 there.
That's Jack Mullins. Oh, sorry, that's not Jack. That was against Jack Mullins.
Axel Rivera hit the 3. They kind of have a similar haircut.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that was still good defense.
Tran, another layup missed. I mean, Tran has missed a lot of layups now. He's now only 1 for 7 with 5 points on the night.
Yeah, it's not his night today, but I mean, we've seen he can be a difference maker. That's you got to think in the playoffs. He'll still be their go-to guy. I don't think this game makes much of a difference.
Amir Arjamon. Here's Jack Mullins. Mullins is going to be very important to the team next year. I mean, looking ahead, they start so many seniors. There's going to be a lot of change next year on this team. Tran, another layup. They're just not falling for him. I mean, Tran's just getting unlucky, I think.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I mean, you hate to see that. I mean, it's at the same time, though, I mean, he was bound to have a little bit of an off game, so it's good to see that it's in a game where they have such a sizable lead that it doesn't really make a difference, but you hope to see that he can get back into a rhythm in their games coming up, because the caveat here is while this game most likely will decide conference because they'll have the best record, they still have to play Amundsen and Mather to finish off this season.
And neither of those are guaranteed wins. I mean, those are 2 solid teams that have made these games against Vaughn competitive, so Northside is going to have to really play well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not going to be walk in the park, but at the same time, with this commanding lead with 3 minutes left, and we've said before, I mean, it would take a very large defensive meltdown from Northside at this point. I mean, you good to see. I mean, obviously, we're not going to declare them conference champions. This game was hyped as such, and I think that's definitely fair. I think that they're in the position now, and it's in their hands. I mean, I was talking to Dirk David before the game, and he was talking about how when Von Steuben beat Lakeview, that took a lot of weight off their shoulders. They were all watching it live. They said after practice. I mean, it's good to see that. I mean, with that win against Lakeview, now Lakeview, because Northside beat Von Steuben, even though Lakeview beat the Mustangs 50-49 earlier in the season, the head-to-head tiebreaker will not matter because Northside has the best point differential in the conference, as well as beating Von Steuben, who beat Lakeview. So that's how that will work. So essentially, basically, the main threat here is the game tonight, actually, that's going on at the same time as this one. It's the 4th. Team is currently in 4th, Lakeview, like we just talked about, and Amundsen, who's 3rd. If Lakeview wins that game, then if Northside beats Mather next Tuesday, we'll be on the mic again at 4 p.m. Then Northside will be conference champions of the the white conference, and move up to that prestigious red conference for the first time in 8 years.
I mean, that would just be massive for the Mustangs, so that would just be huge. I mean, obviously, going up to the red conference, you're going to be playing some of the very top teams in all of Chicagoland. So
I mean, honestly, even the state. I mean, you see, Jaleel Okafor, for example, NBA player, came out of Whitney, and that was a while ago. But you see constant college players coming from these red conference schools. And so you got to think that not only will that be good for just competitively, I mean, you got to think it will be a little bit tough losing a lot of their seniors here. Some of the guys on JV, the younger guys who made the team, like Owen Estep, Jack Mullins, Will Moran, Isaac Adewale, like we mentioned, Sabona Abdi, Matthew Sterniak, Felix Linsky, a lot of them are going to have to make a huge difference and take the lead there if Northside does end up winning conference.
Tran, can he finally get something? He can. The crowd is loving it too.
And we're
happy to see Stephen Tran back.
And it's also cool to see a little bit of you can hear the NCP and Von Steuben Palms teams kind of fighting here a little bit with their chants. It's a good
Von's
atmosphere.
team has been very into this game. I mean, they have a lot of choreography and stuff down. Northside's Plums team has been a little bit more subdued up until now.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, at the same time, with this much of a lead, you'd like to see that's a little bit of good sportsmanship. But Coach Rollins is still telling his team this game is now over. Yes, it's probably in their hands, but I would not be surprised, unlike Rollins usually does in putting in some of the younger players and at the end of the game, I would not be surprised to see the starters finish off this game.
And I mean, obviously both coaches want to get their teams ready for the playoffs because in the grand scheme of things, while the conference is very important because it determines who does get promoted, another huge thing is just going to be getting set up for the playoffs and making sure you've got the guys you want who are playing as a nice move there, but the three is just not there.
And
so
we can kind of say definitely there that Axel Rivera is no Jack Mullins. Could not do the same thing there. And yeah, so far, I mean, Northside has commanded a lot. Obviously, like we've mentioned a lot, led by a ton of seniors, all of them on the court right now, besides Matthew Sterniak, who's a junior. But I mean, it's good to see there. Just the leadership here. You hear Coach Rollins talking to Derek David, Stephen Tran, Amir Arjuman. I mean, they're the leaders in this team. They're echoing what the coach is saying. They're the ones calling some of these plays. And it's really worked. I mean, this is really great to see from Northside. I mean, they played 3 straight games against the opponents who, frankly, were not good this season. I mean, obviously, their last game it's their biggest win of the season, 58-22, which had to feel good. However, it was against Schurz, who was 1-16, and yet somehow Schurz isn't last in conference because North Grand is also 1-16 with a loss to Schurz. So, I mean...
crazy how those things can happen.
And that's a air ball there.
What a foul.
Yeah.
They'll shoot 3, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a 3-point shooting foul there.
Matthew Martinez, he's had a quiet night.
For sure. I mean, ironically, Northside's last 2 games in conference have come against North Grand and Schurz, so those ego confidence boosters there. Actually, though, surprisingly, NCP was 0-7 in their previous 7 matchups against Schurz, and so they finally got that win that they needed. It's so good to see this team kind of flipping the narrative that's been honestly going on since before all of our time here at Northside.
I mean, how important is that to just, get that weight off your shoulders and just go into this game having such a big moral victory? I mean, that might have helped them win this game, having that moral victory.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, obviously, Vaughn had to feel good coming and beating in Lakeview in a very important game at home. And so same thing for Northside, going away, beating Schurz, a team who has consistently beat them in past years, and proving that they are the better team this season is really important for their confidence and had to feel good extending that win streak to 3 going into this game. And Ellis, I think it's fair to say that most likely they'll be extending that win streak to 4 here with the win against Von Steuben, which more likely than not will give them all the tiebreakers they need to win the conference this year. And so, I mean, you have to give props to this team. I mean,
just an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, coming into this game, the only other team is Lakeview with a winning record overall. Obviously, Vaughn and Northside have the best records in conference, which is ironic considering that Vaughn has a losing record overall, which might have contributed here. I'm not completely sure. They've lost a lot of games in the tournament recently, so maybe they were gassed up after beating Lakeview in that game earlier. So it's interesting to see maybe what the motivating factors here were. I mean, you got to think both teams really wanted this game, but unfortunately, Von Steuben didn't bring their best game here today, and Northside did. And so, again, as we said before, as much as we like to keep this an unbiased broadcast, we are happy to see this.
For sure.
I hope all of the viewers are as well. As that's a floater from Axel Rivera and an air ball there. I mean, Axel Rivera has, quite frankly, not looked himself today on the offensive.
But on the defensive end, he's done a great job working out Stephen Tran.
Great pass.
Oh! Attic gives Von Steuben something to celebrate right at the end of the game. I mean, they hadn't had a whole lot, but gives their fans something fun at the end.
And again, one more time as this game is wrapping up, as John Brody who's the ball. We'd just like to shout out our entire team here from NCP TV today. Obviously, I'm Pearson Strengthwich, joined by Alice Korda, as always, with the main broadcasting team, with our lead producer, Alex Korn. We have Zubair Ahmed on tech, Alice Chaudhry on the scoreboard, Patrick Moran, Justin Goldberg on stats. We have Davian Marvia here just with moral support. Same with Amin Koya Oyafua, as well as Jacob Del Rosario, as well as Ryan Feeney and Jonah Holleran on the camera team today, and Luca Cantalera as our sideline reporter who saw him at halftime. So it's great to see here. We got a lot of people here at this game today. So things you can look forward to next week. On Monday, we're covering the bowling senior day. That's girls bowling at Waveland, 4 p.m. We'll be there. Additionally, we have, again, that Mather game we talked about on Tuesday with 5 seconds left, and Northside's going to come away with this one, Ellis.
Big win, 53-36. Northside is in a great position to win the conference and get promoted to the top conference in all of Chicago.
And yeah, that has to feel great, Ellis. I mean, final score 53-36. This is no close game. This is a definitive win for Northside. Almost a 20-point win, actually, as you kind of mentioned earlier in the game.
I mean, they're showing who deserves to win the conference. If they can finish off the season with performances like this, they're going to win the conference easily. So just a fantastic performance. Pearson, any last thoughts?
I think we're going to try to get some of the players here for an interview. But I just say, for Northside, they embraced their identity. They won on the defensive end. They won on the glass. They got a ton of assists, a ton of steals. And overall, the points were spread evenly across this team. Even on an off night from Stephen Tran, Owen Amir Arjibad, some of their other seniors took the weight. Key players of this game, John Brody finishes with 12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Owen Amir Arjibad with 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals as well. Stephen Tran finishes with only 7 points. I think this is one of his worst home games, but that's not the key thing here. It's good to see him getting that layup at the end of the game for his confidence. Also, key contributors off the bench, Esteban Vargas, Jack Mullins, with some key threes to kind of pump this team up. And yeah, overall, this is a great game from Northside. Their team, they proved that they can come in here and just be difference makers and be anyone can come into this game, no matter who they are, and just slot right into the lineup. You didn't really see any change between them, and they were experimenting with some different units. You see JV coming on the court. You can come here in person if you want, but unfortunately, we will be ending our broadcast here. The players went in the locker room, so I think we're going to have an interview coming up on our Instagram at ncp_TV. So look out for that. Again, like I said earlier, women's bowling on Monday at 4 p.m. Men's basketball against Mather. That's Tuesday at 4 p.m. And then women's basketball against Chicago Bulls College Prep at 5 p.m. on Thursday. So a lot of interesting games coming up. And yeah, this has been NCP TV for me, Pearson Strandquist.
I'm Alice Korda, and just one more final thing. Just a huge shout out to Pearson Strandquist. He makes this all possible, so we just want to give him a big thank you for all of his work on this broadcast.
I appreciate it. And with that, I got to stay humble here. Also to my vice president, my right-hand man, Alex Korn, here on the tech. Give him a shout out as well. I think we already said everyone's here. We really appreciate it. Also, Henry Kim's here. We can give him a shout out as well.
Hey guys, I was in the stands, my bad.
Yeah, so that's all of your NCP TV. These are the main players we had today. A good stream today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this replay, thank you for watching that too. We're sorry for a little bit of the tech issues during the game. But yeah, you can catch this stream, the first part of the game. I think the first half is on a stream that's not labeled new stream, and this stream will be the one for anything else. So again, for Alice Korda, Pearson Strandquist, and the rest of this NCP TV crew, have a good night.